Hello, is my audio? Can you hear
Y-
my audio?
So yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes, ma'am.
All right. So I guess we can start.
Yeah, we
Sure.
can.
All right. So welcome to session one of Android Study Jams. I'm excited to share about what are Android Study Jams, what are the expectations, the rewards, and also walk you through some Kotlin basics. Now, before we begin, let us just have an interactive round first. You all can open slido.com on your phone browsers or your laptop browsers and type in this code. So you guys can start answering the question, which is that one app you cannot live without. All right. I see some of them are writing in the chat box. Can you just open slido.com and enter the code there? You should be able to write your answer there. All right. So I see YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp are the major takeovers. Someone wrote doubt not. That's interesting. All right. I guess we can proceed. Thank you everyone for joining the Slido. Let us continue, starting with what are Android study jams. So to put it very simply, Android study jams are campaigns that promote modern Android development with students who do not have any prior Android development experience. We will start with the basics of Android apps, and this we will do with Android basic in Kotlin course. We will dive a lot deeper into the course later on, but we will first start by building a very simple collection of apps. To go into the Android basics course, I can send you the link. Just a second. Um, no, I don't think it's paid. It's not paid. So I've put the link in the chat box. Let us first look at some of the prerequisites that will be helpful. Uh, Having some basic computer literacy and math skill is recommended. You will also need a computer and access to internet to take the online course. It will be also helpful if you have an Android device so that you can test your apps that you're building. USB cable will be needed for connecting your phone to the computer. And if you don't have an Android device, then there's nothing to worry. You can still use your computer to emulate an Android device. We will look into that later. So as you can see, today's objectives will be very simple. Like first, we will learn how to create a developer profile. Second, we will introduce you to basics of Kotlin. And third, I'll you can just download Android Studio on your computer for the upcoming sessions. Getting started, the first thing you need to do is create a developer profile. Developer profiles would enable you to collect badges as shown in the image. The badges that you earn, they are earned while completing the pathways. You are taking you when you take a course that is a pathway. Be sure to sign in first and then create a developer profile if you haven't done it already. I can share the link in a minute. It's very easy to create, and more importantly, it's very important that you have a public developer profile. It will help you to showcase these badges on your profile, and also it will help you to share your achievements on your social media. You can have that link. So you get these badges after you complete each pathway. Now you must be wondering, like, what exactly is a pathway? A pathway, we can say it like a pathway is it's an ordered sequence of activities to learn a specific skill. It can be a video, hands-on experience like code lab, an article, or a quiz. These activities can help you to reach specific learning to complete specific learning objectives by the end of this pathway. There's a quiz at the end of each pathway to check your progress and to judge your understanding on the basis of what you just on the basis of which pathway you just covered. Here's what a sample quiz will look like. There are no limit to the number of tries for a quiz, but I would suggest that if you get a question wrong or something, you should fight before retrying. You should first try to understand what the concept is. Now, after you pass the quiz, it's you can earn a badge. You will get a badge like this one, and it will be shown on your developer profile that you had just created earlier. Now, in introduction to Kotlin. So here's where things get a little interesting. We throughout this event, we will be using Kotlin as our main language. Kotlin is an expressive, statically typed language for development on Android and server. It was introduced by JetBrains, the team behind IntelliJ, in 2010. It is a free open source and has been used by more than 5.8 million developers around the world. It is one of the most loved languages in the world, and I think some of the most used apps that we use now are made in Kotlin. Like, for example, Flipkart, Trello, Pinterest, Netflix, Airbnb. They are all made in Kotlin. And even Google apps like Google Drive, Google Photos, they're all being developed in Kotlin right now. And it's a very powerful language because of its interoperability with Java. Java had some disadvantages, which Kotlin covers in a very elegant way. And the most important thing being, it also provides null safety. We'll get to it later in the upcoming slides. More about Kotlin. You should know that Kotlin um also follows object-oriented paradigm, and it is also good with functional programming. Like we can use it for to create multi-platform programming languages. I think yes, the laptop provided by KIIT is enough to run Android Studio. Yes, it's enough. Okay, moving on. First, we will look up into some of the top features in Kotlin. So as you can see, this is a classic example of how Kotlin is a very concise language. This is both the codes are the same, like the functionality is same, but in Kotlin it's just a one-line code, whereas in Java we would have to write tons of code, tons of boilerplate code just to implement the same thing. In the right side, as we can see, there are some functions like the get age or the set age function. We don't need to like implement them manually in Kotlin. They are already done by the system type, and we can directly access them using a dot operator. The second feature would be null safety. Kotlin avoids null pointer exception. It is a very common error to that null pointer exception is a very common error in developing Android Studio or any kind of programming. Uh, it must have happened like sometimes you have tried to access a variable, but you have got an NPE, that is a null pointer exception. It happens because sometimes you declare a variable but do not initialize it, like you forget to initialize it. Kotlin during compile time won't let you do that. That's the big thing. Like as you can see in the first snippet, uh, um, that is how we actually declare a variable, but we'll get to it later. It's you just need to know that there's a variable a, it's of type string, and it has some value abc. Now, in the next line, as it says that we try to uh, allocate null value to that variable, but during that time, it will show you a compilation error, and it won't it will show you the error during compile time. You know, like even if you run it, you will see that Kotlin will avoid this thing. But still, if you like want to access Kotlin, like if you want to access null in Kotlin, there is a way, there is a workaround. Like you have to use some special kind of special operators. The first one being, as you can see in the second snippet, var b type string, and we have a small question mark at the end of string. That means that we explicitly let the system know, let the program know that this variable can hold a null value. And the next line, if we try to assign null to b, then it won't show an error during compile time, and it will run, and it will also print null if we print the value. But this is only to demonstrate that Kotlin can like explicitly take the variable as null. But other than that, avoiding null pointer is an exceptional feature in Kotlin. The next big thing is Kotlin coroutines. Kotlin introduces us to some additional features. So the first one being Kotlin coroutines. It is also called as structured concurrency. Like it is easy to be. It is. It lets us easily able to be able to work with multiple tasks in the background simultaneously. And we will definitely be covering coroutines in our sessions. And this is a very cool feature in Kotlin, and just, it's a nice feature. You will know get to when you will get to know about it. Like it can be useful when you are downloading a file, and at the same time the user wants to interact with your application. So this takes up less space in your phone. This takes up less CPU resources, and it can be easily implemented. Whereas during the previous times when we used to code in Java, like Android apps used to be coded in Java during first times. So then there was no specific thing for background tasks or multi-threading, but Kotlin coroutine solves this problem. Is my audio not uh, loud enough?
It's audible.
It's audible.
All right, thank you.
It's audible.
So the next thing is Kotlin Playground. Here you can use your browser to use an interactive code editor where you will be running some Kotlin files, and I'll just share the link with you. There you go. If you use that link, then you will get into something like I've shown in the figure. Uh, to make it easier for you to learn, you will be writing your code in the Kotlin Playground. Uh, the output of your code will show up at the bottom of the window, and it's just a workaround for now. And when we'll be creating actual Android applications, we will be using some real Android Studio software and not in the Kotlin Playground. But for the basics, this will just do fine. So starting with the Kotlin basics, this is the most the most simple program ever, I think. The classic Hello World program. Uh, I think that's how like most programmers start with any new programming language. In Kotlin also, in Kotlin we also need a main function like we used to do in Java or C++. The way we implement functions in Kotlin is by using the fun keyword, and a simple println command with the quote will print the command will print the sentence hello world. Next, we can see how we can declare variables in Kotlin. Uh, we can use declare variables in Kotlin in two ways. One is using a var keyword, that is var, and the other one being val, val. One is mutable variable and the other one is an immutable variable. Mutable variable means that the value can be changed later. As you can see in the left image, I use the var keyword. I give my variable a name, let's say color, and I use a colon and then I give it a type of string. So, and then I assign it some value that is red, initial value, and then I print the color. Then I change the color value to blue and then I again try to print it. This time the editor says that I have the first color was red and the second time it changed to blue. This is because I have used the var variable, letting it know that that value can be changed. But if you look at the second image, here I have used another variable called sum, but I have initialized it as val, and it is of type int, and I have assigned it some value 21. Now, if I try to print or I try to change the value of sum, then I get an error called that val cannot be reassigned. This is exactly what it means. You can think of Kotlin as you can think of Kotlin the val as a type of final that we use in Java programming.
So, yeah, yeah, so val is like constant in C and C++.
Yes, you cannot change the value of val. It can be only initialized once, and then it's final.
Where does Kotlin support dynamic typing?
Yes, Kotlin does support dynamic typing. You will get to learn. It is called, you can use a functional programming like lambdas. You have functional you have indented functions. We will learn about them when we actually try to make applications. Then we will use these features.
Okay, thank you.
Coming to the data types, Kotlin supports 5 primitive data types, that is int, boolean, double, char, string, and it also supports the normal conditional operators like Java uses. Like there's no difference there. It is easily accessible, and you can easily understand them from the demo that I'm going to show you in the next slide. Next, we will see how to use conditional statements, the classic if-else. So in the left side, as you can see, I have initialized a variable a with value 7, and then I have just simply used a standard if-else technique. There's nothing new there. If you have some programming background, then you will know what it means. And but yeah, when you try to print a value, when you try to print a variable's value, then you have to use some formatting conditions. That is, we use a dollar symbol, and inside curly braces, we can have that value. And
Bhaiya,
yeah,
yeah. So for string we have to use val and but we use val, right? But in my compiler I used var variable var, and still I got the right output. So like, is
yeah,
it
it doesn't matter. No, you can use the type of variable is string, but there are only two types, like val and var. If you assign it as val, if you assign the string type as val, then you cannot change the value later, the value of the same variable.
okay? But if
But
we assign it as var, then we can change it later on.
yes, you can change it. Like the program will run successfully. If you try to
Oh,
change it, then it won't show an error.
okay.
So, so the if-else expression is very similar to Java code, like we can see here. Coming to something new, uh, you must be familiar with the switch case in Java or C that we used to have. Kotlin also has something similar, but it's called a when operator. So when you use, if you want something like if you have more than 3 or 4 iterations to complete, like 3 or 4 if else, if you need to check, uh, using if else if ladder would be a very tiring process. So we used a when conditional expression. As you can see, I have again declared an initialized variable called color with the value of blue. And instead of switch case, what we have in Kotlin is a when expression. Like we use the when keyword, and in the parentheses, we give the variable name which we want to check. And inside curly braces, we can directly give the value we want to compare it with. Like if I want to compare my variable with the red, green, or blue values, I can directly put them here. And we use arrow operator. Using an arrow operator, we will select like if the value is red, then print the color is then dollar color. Dollar color means it will print the value of color instead of printing dollar color. It will print the value of the variable color. So as you can see in the output, that the value of my variable was blue. So the third condition got executed, and it printed color is blue. And it is also mandatory to like in switch case we used to have uh, a default statement, right? In case none of the cases were true, it would go into the default case. So here we don't we will also need an else condition. Like if all the conditions are false, then the else condition will be satisfied, and it will go into that. Another thing to point out is that you don't need break statements or any jumping statements. Like there are the normal break and continue. But for using a when expression, you don't need to use break every time. Also, there is no semicolon involved in anywhere in Kotlin. That's a plus point, I guess.
Bhaiya.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, it's written. I just yeah, when I saw that it was looking like switch case only. Now I read it. It is written equivalent to switch case. Sorry, Bhaiya. I just read it.
all right. So,
Bhaiya,
is anyone? Yeah,
Bhaiya,
Bhaiya,
can you please explain again how to assign the value to the variable? Uh, I
how
missed
to
that part.
how to?
Assign a value to the variable.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you look into the second slide, I have used val sum, then colon int equals to 21. This is if you have used C code or Java, like a C code, then we have a statement like it is equivalent to the statement like int sum equals to 21, right? So
Yes.
this
Uh,
is equivalent to that. Like if we use val, that means that we are saying that this value cannot be changed later. It is fixed.
okay, Bhaiya.
And if we use var, that means it can be changed. It is mutable value. But to declare a variable, you can directly use sum colon int equals to 21. And
Okay.
and when we advance in this programming, so what Kotlin can do is it has, as I told you, it has functional type. So what it will do is it won't even require a type for us to enter explicitly. Like we can directly do val sum equals to 21, and it will automatically understand that this value is an integer type. If we put something in double quotes, it will automatically understand that it is a of type string. We will get to that later, but this is the basic definition of how you declare a variable.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Bhaiya, in
Yeah,
when is else part necessary? Like C, we have a default case, or it is we can use it, or
else is necessary here.
okay.
Moving on to the loops and ranges part. If you look
Bhaiya.
at yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to execute another program where we can find the sum of two integers, but that's not happening. It's saying expecting a top level declaration. So what should I do in that case?
I'll show you. I have how to find a sum. It
Yes.
will coming in a few slides.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Wait and watch it. All right, can you guys see this pointer?
Yes, Bhaiya.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
so just try to understand this part that in Kotlin we have like something as a list kind of thing. It is not exactly an array, but we can call it as a list type, and we assign them via this val items equals to list of. So when we use a list of expression, then we can directly put the values that we want to be in our list. Like I have put three string values like Android, study, and jams. And that is exactly how you create a list. It's that simple. It's a one-liner code. Next, looking into for loops. In Kotlin, we can directly use the each type of for loop to iterate through a list. We also have the standard C if for, but it's rarely used in these types of cases. Like if I want to iterate over the list items, then what I can do is for item in items. Like For item in items means that for in for each item for each element in the list items, it will be stored in item, and it will be iterated, and it will be auto implemented. So I can directly do a code like for item in items means that my item variable now will have the iterated value elements of the list, and I can directly print them. Like if I print the value of item every time in the for loop, then as you can see in the first line of output, it prints 100 study jams. Um, yes, we will be sharing this PPT after the end of the session. Uh, I didn't get your question, Ajay. Can you repeat? Can you turn on your mic?
Bhaiya, is the list of like an array?
Yeah, it's a kind of array. You can
I mean, does it
of
have
it
to
as
be the
an
same
array.
data type?
Can you repeat?
Do all the elements have to be of the same data type as in an array?
An array in a list, yes, but we also have something called as a set where it can be heterogeneous type.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Yes, yes, set and yeah, many languages consider to be as unique elements, so it cannot have a duplicate element now.
Duplicate element meaning?
Means a unique value. For instance, in a set, if we in Python set is
Yeah,
in
in a list you can have duplicate values. It will let you have that. But in a set, I don't think it will do. It is unique.
here is their dictionary
Uh,
like in Python web
we can have
dictionary.
key value pairs, but we don't call it a dictionary. Uh, what if we use dollar num? Yeah, actually, for now, both will work as the same. But if we use a dollar and we use the value inside curly braces, then it will print the value. But we can have more functionality to it actually. Like if we use dollar and then curly braces, and inside we can also type in an expression. We can also it's like a code. Like we can have a value of anything. Yes, val supports. It's the same val where we you can support any type of data. That won't be an issue. Uh,
Bhaiya, I got that problem rectified. Now it's working. There was some issue with the compiler. I don't know what happened, but now it's working.
all right, great. So the next thing is we saw how to iterate in a list using each type of for. But um, okay, I'll get to this question later. Like why is Kotlin preferred over Java? For if we use the next kind of for, like for I in like this is similar to what we have been using in Python, I guess. Like in Python, we use the in operator, like in the in keyword. So in Kotlin, we also can use that, like for every I in items dot. But here we have indices. Like indices is the keyword that we use to get the index of each item in the list. So if I type in for I in items.indices, every I will contain the index of every element in the list. And next, if I print that line, then like if I print index, like the value of I and then item and the value of mm, then the value of the items and that position of I, like if I put it like that, then it will basically print the item here and the index. The second value prints the item at that index, and the first thing prints only the index. Here I have also showcased how you can use two types how to print a new line. Like you can either use print ln or you can just use \n. ln will not be required then. Second, we also have a while loop in Kotlin, and we can use it like we use a standard while loop in every other programming language. We have the while if index is less than items dot size. If we use the dot size keyword, then we will get the we will get the size of the list. Like it's 1, 2, 3. So 3 items. So items dot size will return 3. And again, we are just printing the item at that index that we are getting, like 0 less than 1 less than 2 less than 3, and we are also iterating it as a +1.
Bhaiya?
Yeah,
So the items dot indices, it returns a list of the indexes of the array, is it?
it returns the like the index. Yes.
And in the println, do you have something like in Python, like we have to end or shape? Do we have something in
No,
println?
we don't have anything like that.
Okay.
We can, if we use print, then it will stay in the same line. If we use print line, then it will go into the next line.
System Bhaiya, if the user wants to input
Yeah.
some values, how will you do that?
We have input statements in Kotlin, but we won't be teaching you that now. But when you will be covering the sessions, like when we will be covering the courses, like you will be taught how to do that.
Okay.
Coming to the right side, we also have some range functionality in for the for loops. Like if we want values from 1 to 10, we can directly use the two dot operator, like for I in 1 to 10, and then we can just print the value of I. You can see, and it auto increments as a +1. We can also use a step count, like in the first line, in the first example, we saw how it only increments automatically as a +1. But here, if we explicitly tell it that we have a step 2 functionality, then it will only iterate a +2 after each iteration. So as you can see, it prints one,
It
three, five,
works as
seven, 9.
colon.
Yeah,
The
sorry.
two dots are works as colon, two colons. Works
No, they are
like
not.
here in Python.
Yeah, 2 columns in Python.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in 2 columns, but yeah, we can call it like that, but we only use 2 dots here. Next, like what if we want to step down? Like here we are incrementing the value from 1 to 15 or 1 to 10. If we want to decrement the value, then we can also specify like 21 down to is the keyword that we need to use here. Keep in mind the case sensitivity here. For I in down to 21 to 9, step 2. Again, step 2 means that we are decrementing it a value of every 2. So 21, 19, 17, 15, and so on. So this was a basic of how to use loops and ranges in Kotlin. Going over to the next slide. Kotlin, when you save a Kotlin file, it will always be saved with an extension of KT or KTS. And the here let us learn about how we can implement functions in Kotlin. So the code always runs from the main function, and Here I have initialized two variables, x and y, as 21 and 15. You can see I have also created a new function called find sum, and we create a function using the fun keyword. So find sum, and here inside the brackets that you see, there are the parameters. Here's how we take parameters in a function. Like, and the syntax goes something like you give the name of the parameter, the variable, and then the type. So here I have two parameters of type int in the find sum function, and inside its body, like we use curly braces, standard curly braces, and then inside this body we calculate the sum, and then we print the value of sum. We can and the calling of the function is like that standard, like you just give the name of the function and pass the two variables, keeping in mind that this function has no return type. But what if we want to use a return type, right? So going to the right side, here again we have the find sum function, and we have two parameters, a and b, of both of type integer. But this function has a integer type of return. Like if you are from a C or C++ background, there is always a return type, like be it void or integer. There's always some return type. In Kotlin, we use these colons to specify the type of value we will be returning. And so as you can see, my function here, in my case, returns a type integer. So I again calculate the sum, and instead of printing it here, I return the value of sum. And as you can see here, I have gave in I haven't specified any type for the sum variable, but Kotlin is smart enough to understand that I am trying to access integer variable because I am adding two integers. So we don't need to specify the type of variable that we are declaring. It will automatically take it in, and after returning the value, we can use it in the main function. Like I have again used the sum variable, like val sum equals to find sum, and then the sum will have the return variable, the value of the return type, and then I can print the value there. So I get a 36 here. This is how you use a basic function in Kotlin. Going to the next, the last of the Kotlin basics thing, we have classes and objects. So what we used to have is like class rectangle. A class is, again, we create a class by using the class variable, class keyword, and I've named it rectangle, and inside it I have two initial variables like length and width of type int, having the values of 10 and 3. I also have a function, get area, which will return, which takes no parameters. Like you can see, it has no parameters, and it returns a type of returns of type int, and it just returns the area, like the product of length and width. And in the main function, what we can do, we create the object of the class rectangle. So we create a variable ret, which is a rectangle type. Like it when we initialize, we write this line of code, then what it will do is it will initialize length and width to 10 and 3. And when I print the when I try to print the value of the get area function, then it will simply, I can simply use a dot operator like ret dot get area, and it will return me a value of 30. But this is a very bad way of creating classes in Kotlin. This can provide data leaks, or this is not very, like, this is very tiring. You have to write lots of code here. What you can do is, in the right side, you can see we again have a class rectangle, but this time, instead of initializing it, we can directly use the class rectangle as a constructor itself. Like in the brackets. This is the default constructor of it, just like that. So again, I have a variable length. This time I have used a type double, width of type double. And instead of the function get area, I simply have a variable again. Again, I have not specified the type because it will automatically take it in, and I've multiplied length and width. Here again, inside the main function, when we try to create an instance of the class rectangle, I again use the class name, and there itself I pass the default values, let's say 2.7 or 4.3. I want the default values to be of length and width to be 2.7 or 4.3. And when I want to get the area of that rectangle of the object that I created, I can simply use ret.area. There's no function, there's no return type. It's not needed. You directly use the value of ret.area inside the dollar parentheses, uh, dollar parentheses sentences, and you will directly get the value of length multiplied by width. As you can see, it works like this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
In this Kotlin, is there any concept of access specifiers? Like through this code, I can conclude that they are being called without, like in C++, we have by default private, but
Yeah,
here we
private.
haven't specified any kind of access.
You have access specifiers in Kotlin, and by default they are again private. But here we can access them because we are creating. We don't. We have not specified any type of security here, like a private, public, protected. We have not specified it, but we do have them in Kotlin.
So if we
We'll
don't
be
specify, then by default, what it will be? Private.
if we don't specify, then it won't matter. Like it will take in the value. It won't be
Okay,
private, but it will take in the value.
okay, okay.
If you
That's why
wanted
we
to,
can access.
yeah, you can directly access it.
Okay.
All right. So this was the end of Kotlin basics. Now I want you guys to again go back to Slido, type in the code, and try to answer this question.
Bhaiya,
Yeah,
how can I join this? Because I joined in a little bit late because I had some
just type in your browser
interactions.
slido.com. You can either
And
scan
then,
the QR code. You can either scan the QR code.
or we can type the code given here 6584092.
Yeah, type the
Okay.
go into the browser slido.com.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm just doing it. Slido.com.
Uh, 5 more seconds. So as you can see, 6 is the right answer. And I've seen most of you have already selected the right answer. That's nice. Okay,
एक्सक्यूज मी
going into
भैया,
the next. Yeah,
लिंक कहाँ मिलेगा? लिंक नहीं दिख रहा है इसका.
you don't need a link. You just have to go into it's clear. Like just go into a browser, type in slido.com and use that code. Okay, here is another question for you guys.
Satyajit, while you are waiting, like, can you share the socials of the DSC for the further communication regarding Android study channels?
Yeah, sure. I'll share in the Discord link. Yeah, we can have both KT or KTS files for Kotlin extensions. Okay. Also, if you guys are interested in knowing the difference between KT or KTS, as I said, Kotlin is a multi-platform language. So .kt would mean that it's a normal Kotlin file that we will be working on mostly. And .kts is for like if you want to use it in another platform, the S stands for script, the Kotlin scripts. So moving on into the third part of today's session, you need to use Android Studio. So you have to download and install Android Studio on your computer. This is the official tool to build professional developers use for Android development. This is where we will be you will be writing your Kotlin code and building your applications. So I would say just keep it downloaded in your computer systems so that in the next session we can directly if we can directly use it. You can directly use it. I'll be sharing the link.
भैया
Yeah.
slide2.com में क्या सर्च करना है? इवेंट का नाम क्या था?
What?
तो भैया slide2.com में आ गया और साइन इन कर लिया और
Slido.com.
हम्म,
I don't think it will accept it will be accept
Yeah.
polls anymore. We are past that.
okay.
Maybe in next sessions you can try again.
Bhaiya,
Yeah.
the file is very big. It is 915 MB.
Yeah, you don't have to download it right now. We won't be doing any projects right now. But
Oh,
I'd recommend that you keep it downloaded in your systems and just
okay, bhaiya.
keep it downloaded so that when we host our next session, everyone would be ready with it. Like we don't have to wait for you
Sure,
to
bhaiya.
download at that time, right?
Sure, bhaiya.
Yeah,
So
we have to sign in with our KIT ID or our personal
there's
ID.
there's no constant to that. You can choose to sign like in developers Android developer.android.com. Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. You don't. I don't think you even need to sign in. You can directly download.
And sir, about if we gain batches, we have to sign in.
No, you.
Uh,
Yeah, you have to sign in. Yeah, then you have to sign in. But then
so we can sign in with any ID, right?
I would prefer that you sign in with the ID that you use to join this event. But if it's okay if you try to sign in with a different ID, it will be fine.
Yeah, I think our personal mail ID will be better because after we pass away from
Yeah,
KIIT, I think that
you can use your personal ID for collecting badges. That would be better.
yes, sir.
Oh,
And yes, you can download it on a MacBook. We have you can just scroll down where it will show that you have it for MacBook, ARM, Windows 64X, and even Ubuntu. It supports all kinds of soft platforms. In Android Studio, you can use the Android emulator, which can emulate various Android devices on your computer. The emulator allows you to run your application and test it, and it almost provides all the capabilities that a real Android device can. If you also have a physical device and you want to use it, you may do that. You have to use a USB cable and connect your phone with that computer. Uh, Now let us look at some basics of an Android application. Like, what are the basics of an Android app? What does it contain? Like, I'm sure you are familiar with this kind of structure that I've shown in the images. But what and deep down, what does it basically consist of? Today we will learn about the most important three things that application contains. The first one being a user interface. Uh, the user interface, most commonly known as UI, it is the part of the app like where the user interacts it with. Like, and the second part is the layout. It is the design or arrangement of what the user sees on the screen. In Android, a layout is made up of more than one view. Like, we have lots of views in one layout. We will learn about these in details in our upcoming sessions. The third one is views. Here are some examples of what a view can be. Like, every text that you see in Android is a text view. Every image is an image view, and the button that you click is a button. Like, we call it button in Android. We will learn how to use these things and create applications. And moving on, uh, let's talk about the future proceedings. Let's look at what the learning curve will look like for you guys. So the course is designed in a very interactive way. I'm talking about the Android basics in Kotlin course that I had shared the link before. We have 6 units there. These units will break down into 16 pathways, and at the end of each pathway, you will have quizzes. These quizzes will help you understand, like, I've already told you about the quizzes, right? So these quizzes will help you understand what exactly, like, how you understood the subject, and you can earn badges after, like, passing every quiz. Now, the developer profile, we will be tracking your developer profile throughout this event. So it's important for you that when you create your developer profile, you make it public, and we will be asking you to share your developer profile uh, uh, after some sessions. Then you'll have to share us the link or the screenshot. It will be notified to you beforehand. Also, if you win all the 16 badges, then you will be eligible to get your Android certification, the official Android certification from Google. Now, this is an overview of what you will learn throughout
Share
the.
the link again.
Hello?
Can you share the link again for
Of the
this?
course? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
It's not, Harit, I don't think it depends on what year you are. You can, like, first, second, third, fourth, you can do it. All right, I think Ajay has shared the link. So coming back to the overview of what you will learn. So as I told you, you have 16 pathways. This is just a quick view of what each pathway contains. Introduction to Kotlin was the first pathway, and you need and after I have told you the basics of Kotlin, like, I've already done that. So you can go ahead and complete unit 1, pathway 1, and like that, when you progress along the pathways, it will be getting more advanced. So like, the second pathway, you will create a first Android app. You'll learn how to use Android Studio. In the third, you'll create a basic layout. Fourth, add a button. So, like, and you can also see the corresponding badges that you will earn. So like this, the list goes on. Like, you will learn how to get user input, display a list. You will learn how to navigate between screens, and then you will also learn Towards the eighth path, we'll also learn how to use architecture components, like navigation components, in your Android application. After that, again, as you can see, I talked about coroutines. It comes in pathway 11. It will support background threading. And after you learn coroutines, you will learn how to get data from internet. Like you will use API and REST, HTTP and REST to fetch data from internet. You will also learn how to use database, how to store data in an Android, how to get data from a database, how to read or write from database, and you will also learn towards the and the last part, that is it's showing 15, but it's actually 16. Like the getting user input is 1 and 2, so don't get confused there. So towards the last, you will learn how to use Work Manager. It is something that whenever you use like alarm clock, whenever you set an alarm in your Android application, whenever you use whenever you download a file from the internet, we use something called as the Work Manager. You'll also learn how to use that. Now, after today's session, you can go ahead and start with Unit 1, Pathway 1, that is Introduction to Kotlin. And our next session will be on 12th of December, 6 p.m., where you will learn how to build a basic layout. Until then, you can collect the badge for Unit 1 and Pathway 1. Here are some of the rewards that you will be getting. First, you will be getting badges on your profile. Second, you will be getting the Android Associate Developer Certificate reimbursement of up to $120. So, like, it's a huge discount, if you know what I mean. And if you complete all the 6 units during our event, like during this Android Study Jam sessions, then you will be eligible to get that discount. Every participant will also get a certificate of participation, and towards the end of the event, you will be given 2 weeks of time to create an Android app. And if you create and one app will get a chance to get featured on Google's official social handles. So keep an eye for that. And the last thing is if you have completed badges in a timeline. So whenever GDSC KIIT hosts offline hackathons, probably in the month of February, you will be getting some goodies from us. And I should also say that in the towards the end of this event, we have something special. We have something special for you, and it will be announced later. So just stay tuned for that. Now, feel free to ask any questions. You can also join our Discord server. We are there to answer whatever questions you may have. I think the Discord server link has already been pasted in the chat box. You can join from there.
What would be the duration of the next session? Like it is starting from 6 p.m. till?
See, as of now, we cannot say the exact duration, but every event will be from 1.5 to 2 hours.
Okay. And the
It won't exceed more than 2 hours.
And what about the schedule? Like when will the classes will be held?
Schedule. You will be told about the schedule soon. Probably in the next session, you will be told about our whole timeline. So we can work on that.
Yeah, we have the mid-sem from 21. So, is there any way to adjust the classes or?
Mid-sem, I am aware of the mid-sems, but as you can see, we also everyone has this mid-sems or end-sems are at this time. But the Android Study Jam is this timeline was given to us by Google. Like we cannot change it. Everywhere, like in the whole country, wherever Android Study Jams are being conducted, it's the same timeline for everyone. So we are also working on a tight schedule. So it cannot be changed, but That's why. So we what we can do is we can try to keep our sessions small, and like I said, it won't exceed like 1.5 to 2 hours. That's it. We won't exceed more than that. And we have the dates of your midterms, so we won't be interfering between them.
Okay, so are this recording available in YouTube so we can access them if
Yeah,
we miss it?
yeah, definitely. You will be given the presentation, and this video will is recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube. It will be notified in our Discord channel. So just make sure that you join our Discord channel.
Yeah, can you once
What's
again?
the name of the YouTube channel? What's the name of the YouTube channel?
I think it's GDSC kit. Aman, can you confirm?
Okay.
Sir,
Oh, okay, yeah. Kotlin over Java. Yeah, sure. So see, Java, Kotlin was Java had some issues like which could not have been improved. Like the more important thing, Kotlin makes use of 30% less code than Java. So there is a main difference. Like why I showed you a slide of the difference between Kotlin and Java. Like the code was so long in Java. Along with that, if you have seen that Kotlin supports new kinds of features that like Java cannot. Like coroutines is a very big advantage. Kotlin also supports functional programming. Like you can use it to type multi-platform programs in the same architecture. You can go for multi-platform, and we also have something upcoming called as in Kotlin multi-platform, where we can also build iOS apps, but it's still in development. Another big thing for Kotlin, like it's a big win, is null safety. Like there have been improvements for handling null pointer exceptions in Java, but there's nothing there. There's no software for that to uh, stop it, like to prevent it from a whole. But Kotlin has that support. Like it is built into the system that it won't let you have null pointer exceptions. And so yeah, this is how like Kotlin is also it's not like they're opponents or something. Like Kotlin is interoperable with Java. Like you can take a Java file and you can also add Kotlin file to it. It won't hamper. Like it will work. And Kotlin is based on Java. Like you can say that Kotlin is based on Java, but it's a better version of Java.
sir, about tomorrow's timing, sir, are they fixed like the 6 p.m. timing? Is it a fixed timing, or sir, can there be a little bit changes? So because many of the students we have a quiz exactly at 6.
It's 12, I think,
I
not 11. Who is at tomorrow? The class is the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, the class is 12th, and I think for now the classes time is fixed because, as I said, we are also working on a very tight schedule here. So for now, we are keeping it fixed, and by next session, you will have the whole timeline of our event.
Bhaiya, recordings will be available or not?
Yes, recordings will be available on our YouTube channel. The link to our YouTube channel has been sent, and uh, s- we will be submitting the recorded file as well as the PPT.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we will share it with you in our Discord server. So just keep an eye for that. In our ASJ, we have a separate channel for ASJ discussions.
Okay, PPT will be shared on your Discord, you mean to say?
We will share the link of where the PPT is on our Discord server. So just join in and stay tuned for that.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
And
Yeah. Okay. Please go ahead.
no, Jiko asked a question. So can we use Java in this course? No, because the whole purpose of using modern Android development is that we have to use Kotlin because Kotlin, as you saw in the slides, that Kotlin is the first preference now that Google says like we have to use Kotlin in our applications, and it is fast forwarding very quickly. Like so, and also the course link that I had sent you, Android Basics. That whole thing is based on Kotlin. So you won't be able to use Java in this event.
What's
Yeah.
the duration of this course, Bhaiya?
It won't be more than 1.5 to 2 hours.
Duration means months. How much months?
I would say it is of total of 2 weeks, in a
Two
total of
weeks.
2 weeks time.
Regular classes will be randomly.
No, it will not be randomly. It will be regular. You by the next session you will have the whole timeline.
What do you say? What will the timing of classes? Fixed classes?
It will most probably it will start from 6.
Okay.
Yeah, like we are actually studying C right now, so like interchanging between languages just while we are studying some language, like we are
I
mastering
don't
one.
no, I don't think that would create an issue. Like you cannot use C to create Android applications. Like in Android Studio, you have to use Kotlin. So
Okay, right, right. Like I was saying that we are currently pursuing one language, right? So interchanging between these two languages like Kotlin C. So will it hamper our coding skills, like for future?
I think it would only improve your coding skills because like knowing more than one language is better than knowing one language. And if you are learning Kotlin, then it's a very good point. Like it's a very big plus point.
Right. Oh, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if I am actually a student from non-computer background and it's like first semester we do not have computer. Will that be fine for us to pursue this? Like, will we be able to cope up with this? Like completely from a non-coding
First
background?
semester, you have not received your computers yet.
Not yet. Not all of us yet. We'll be
I thought
receiving it
it
by
was
the end of the week, I guess.
you'll be receiving
In a week or so.
yeah, it's fine in a week or so, but if you have something like you don't need to use a computer. Like you can use a basic computer if you have anything like to just complete the pathways. And
Okay,
if
no,
you
I was
cannot, then
asking if no, from a non-coding background, like it's okay.
it's okay. The pathways that I showed you, like the Unit 1, Pathway 1,
Yeah.
it starts with a no coding experience. It will teach you
Okay.
from all the basics, and then you will earn the badge. It will start from total novice to pro.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think we are done
Bhaiya,
with the
I,
question.
I wanted
Yeah.
to ask, like, you mentioned the Google certification for this program.
Yeah.
So, is it necessary to get that? I mean, will it benefit us because it's very expensive as it's in dollars.
Yeah, it's expensive again, and that's why if you complete all the, you will directly be getting a whole lot of discount. Like it's more than 80%. Google will cover your fees.
So,
Like
will it be beneficial to have this certification or?
yeah, this I think this is the official Android certification, right? So it is like if you are studying Android, then it is the most beneficial certificate you can get to like
Okay,
to
okay,
showcase that yes, you are an Android developer.
okay.
Satyajit, there are other people who have raised hands.
All right. Okay, Ved, Ved Prakash, Divya Ranjan Sahu.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking that can we induce instances in Kotlin?
I could not get you. Can you repeat?
Like, can we create instances and how
Yes,
does that?
definitely. You can
Yeah,
create
I mean,
instance.
what does instance mean in Kotlin specifically?
Instance basically means like in computer system, you create an instance of some model, right? If you have a data class or a model class, you create an instance of it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if I say that I have a functionality of a cube, a normal cube. So like what do we know? We know that a cube has 6 sides, right? But we can create an instance from every object. Like we have a class of cube, and then we create an instance saying that this cube will have a size of 6 centimeters of each side. So that is an instance of a class.
Okay, okay. So that means we are
So
defining the class.
instances are created from class. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Actually, different languages have different meanings of that. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. But the concept of classes and objects remains the same. It's been
Yeah,
the same for
exactly.
years.
By the way, do you have any ebooks related to Kotlin?
You can get various sources in Kotlin once you start with that Android courses in Kotlin course. There you have tons of resources which you can refer to.
Okay, okay. Actually, I know that there are tons of courses, but still I doubt that which one is the best that you have experience with.
Right. So you can do it. Ankit Sahu.
Yeah, actually, I already asked.
All right. So
I have a doubt.
yeah.
Just before ago, a girl said it's pretty costly because I got disconnected. Is it the course is actually paid or something?
No, the course is not paid. The certification that you want to take, that is paid. But if you
Okay.
complete all the course is free, and the certification cost is total $150. But if you complete all the 16, you collect all the 16 badges during our event timeline, and you show us the proof when we'll ask for it, then you will be able to get a reimbursement of up to $120 on that. So that's a huge plus point.
So after the completing all the 16, then we can pay for that.
Yeah, after completion of this event, we will let you know that who will be like getting the certificates.
Okay.
Bhaiya, you mentioned that we can get our first badge like today. So how do we?
Like today, after I taught you this course, like you have to go into that Kotlin Basics course. You will find 6 units total. When you go into when you try to explore the first unit, like unit one, there will be 4 pathways. Like unit one will have 4 pathways, and if you complete the first pathway, it's a kind of quest thing. Like you just have to complete all the objectives there, and at the end there will be a quiz. After that, if you pass the quiz, you will get the badge directly. It will let you know that you have won a badge in your developer
Uh,
profile.
is it important to like get the batch on the day of the class?
No, you don't have to get it today, but it's preferable that you get the badges before the next session, or before we ask you for the proof. It's better to have those badges because they will be needed.
Bhaiya,
Bhaiya,
Okay. So that means there is
Yeah.
no
Bhaiya, I know.
like timeline for that, right?
Wait, what? Harit, you can go first.
There's no deadline for
Bhaiya,
it, right?
yeah.
There is a deadline. Like like if you don't send us the proof by the time date we have mentioned it, like as of now we don't have a date mentioned. But when we'll ask for it, if you don't have the badge, then like it's okay. But by the end of the event, you have to have all the badges. Like it's okay if you don't collect the badges, but it's good if you do. You'll get a lot more stuff if you do.
Okay.
Bhaiya, I have no doubts for now, so can I leave? Because midterms are coming
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
have
The
to.
session is over right now. The session is over
Thank you,
right
Bhaiya.
now.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
If there's no question, you can leave.
Bhaiya, I just explored the pathway, and it is in Kotlin Basics. There is just a YouTube video, and there is quiz after completing 4 videos.
Yeah, so you just complete the quiz and then you will get your first badge.
No, no, the quiz is after completing the 4 pathways, which includes build your first
No,
app,
no,
write
no,
your
no.
first program, create
The
a birthday message.
no, the first after in the first pathway, there will be some activities. As I said, they can be in any form, like a video, a code lab, or hands-on experience. After you
Yeah, there's a
complete,
video first one.
so you complete all the pathway. After you quit, at the end, there will be a quiz, and then you can earn a badge. That is the total thing is the first pathway.
Okay, okay, I got it.
Introduction to Kotlin is the first pathway. All right.
So can you share the presentation in the Discord?
Yeah, we will be sharing it.